What is going on, guys? The Balor Fan 85, along with the lovely Mrs.
No.
Wait, you're not lovely nor Mrs. Balor Fan 85.
I don't identify as any of that. I'm sorry.
I didn't. Okay. I don't know what I did last night, but somehow I'm in here with. You know what? Let's just get past that. Okay, let's get past that. I'm here with Jameson. Jameson is from a YouTube channel called Pods That Rock. Go check them out. We're also doing a simulcast. We're talking to you right now. We're going to flip right over here, and we're going to talk to you guys over here too. So this is going to go both on Balor Fan's channel and the Pods That Rock channel. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, you've been a wrestling fan for how long?
Since I was about 5 years old. So
about 5 years old.
23 years or so.
Okay, so what are some of your earlier memories?
I grew up watching. First memory I have was DX showing up on TV with China, and I think it might have been some kind of angle with Foley.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was something like that, and that was always just something that stuck with me. That and Stone Cold, of course.
Okay, yeah, Stone Cold definitely
my favorites as a kid.
Okay, so you've got Pods That Rock. You've had a Pods That Rock championship where you do predictions. You did that with your was it your buddy Billy, your cousin Billy?
My cousin.
Okay, your cousin Billy. Now you're kind of branching off on your own a little bit. You still got the Pods That Rock championship going there?
Yeah, I do.
You're the solo championship. You're the solo champion, right?
I'm the champion, but WrestleMania's coming up, and I have a mystery opponent. I don't know if I can I say the H word? I don't know who the hell it is.
I was going to say, what the hell is the H word?
I don't know who the hell it is, to be honest with you. But they keep DMing me, and there's some secret conversation on Facebook, so I can't figure out who it is.
Okay.
And
so it doesn't say their name whenever
you message? It doesn't say their name.
What does it say?
It just says, hey, I'm going to take your title.
But
they try to intimidate me like that, you know? Like they're going to take my title, and every year me and Billy had this gimmick where we would have a bet. I think one year I shaved his head, one year he shaved my beard, and then last year, it wasn't WrestleMania, but I think it might have been like SummerSlam.
Okay.
I waxed his legs.
That's not kinky at all.
That's our oddball type of stuff.
Okay, well that's fair enough.
But this person sees those videos and decides, well, we've got to
up the ante.
We got to up the ante a lot more. Have you not seen our newest video?
No.
They said if I lose, then I have to stop reporting on wrestling. The thing I love since I was 5 years old.
So, if you lose this, and this is predictions, correct?
I not just lose the belt, I lose the basically Pods That Rock wrestling stuff.
Okay.
Like it's all gone.
Well, it's a good thing now that you have a couple of belts in your collection now.
Yeah.
That way you have something. If you do lose that, hopefully you won't, but if you do lose that, guess what? You got a couple of belts. That is why he's here on our channel. That is why we're talking to you guys over there. So you do a lot of NASCAR diecasts and stuff like that. I actually happen to have a few of those. But you've also recently come into some belts.
Yeah.
So you want to tell us kind of how you got into the belt hobby?
I came in through the belt hobby.
I'm sorry, I'm just
because you and some other friends of mine kind of talked me into it on, hey, get in on these groups and we're gonna have giveaways and stuff like that. And I was interested in the giveaways, obviously.
Who isn't interested in giveaways? I
mean, everybody's a whore at some point, you know. So everybody's got to go.
What's that got to do with giveaways?
Just saying, you want free stuff.
Hold on, I got to ask you a question. What are you doing to get free stuff now?
I'm just everybody's friend, I guess. I don't know. Other than that,
are you waxing a lot of legs?
I mean, just Billy's, as far as I know.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure this out because you know we've won about 5 or 6 belts. The key word there is won. We paid for these raffles, so we didn't do any services in return for this. Kind of how you're sounding. I
don't know. I just saying, you know, not really being a whore, but you know.
Well, that's one H word we won't allow, sir.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyways, you've got a couple of belts. You've been in the giveaway thing. How'd you come across these belts? We've got 2 weeks with this guy. So if you hate him by week 2, I'm sorry. I can't help it. He's got belts. I like belts. I have to review belts. So how'd you come across these belts?
Well, just happen to have some friends in low places, high places, whatever you want to call it. They're from all over the country, and they decided, you don't have any belts. Tired of seeing you with that belt. You know, they didn't like the belt that I was gifted for the Predictions Championship. They did not consider it a wrestling belt because it's a boxing belt.
It's a predictions belt.
We pimped it out. Made it into a.
That could be a new show. You've got to pimp my bell. Sorry.
But so they gifted me these belts. You know,
Okay.
Just out of pureness of their goodness of their heart. Because I mean, I do consider them like brothers to me. The
Okay.
guys who send me these.
So for those of you guys watching now, I have no belts. Give me belts. I'll take them. I have no belts. These are all Miss Balor Fan 85s now. I've just gifted them all to her. So give me belts. You've got belts. That's fine. I have none now. Until this video is over and I take them all back, because that's what it's about. Handle your business. So without any further ado, I'm good with cashing in right now. without any further ado, let's go ahead. Give me the backstory of how you got this belt, what it is, and is it a favorite of yours? Is it something you always wanted? Because I'll be honest, this belt that we're showing right now, and if you've already seen the comment and the description, you know what it is. I've kind of always wanted to see it, and now I'm glad I got Jameson over here who's doing kinky stuff to get these belts. But I'm kind of glad that he brought it over because I got to see it, maybe for a few seconds. But now I'm fixing to get the chance to dive right into it and see what's going on. So without any further ado, how did you come across this belt? Let's go ahead and show it off and give me a little backstory.
How did I get this belt? Okay, so a friend of mine.
By the way, this is the Vegas Big Gold, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do it like this. That way we can kind of get it in both cameras over here because simulcasting. I'm learning new things.
Yeah, you can be two places at once now, Wayne.
I'm always two places at once.
So this belt, the Vegas Big Gold, was gifted to me by my friend Kevin Davenport.
Shout out to Kevin Davenport. You, sir, are a true good brother.
And he really is, man. We'll have all kinds of conversations and chats at night, but he randomly got this, and he goes, you know what, I already got one of these. So, Jameson, you've been a good person. You deserve this. You don't have any belts.
Dude. I think you do deserve this. So let's go ahead. The backstory for this before we get into any further. This. So Ric Flair, when he came from the WCW to the WWE, he had put the down payment on the actual Chrome Run Big Gold. So he still had possession of it. So when he came to the WWF, I'm sorry I said WWE a while ago. When he came to the WWF, he brought the belt with him, and he was billed as the true world's champ. Well, WCW didn't really like that, so guess what they did?
They went and made their own.
They slapped that lawsuit.
No.
They forbid that big gold from being used on WWF television. At one point, Ric Flair ended up using the tag team championship. That became the real world's championship. And if I'm not mistaken, they ended up having this made. This was the Vegas Big Gold. Now, this is all from spur of the head. This could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's right. What do you think? You're kind of the wrestling historian.
That's what I've been told.
So we got this. Now, this was not used very long.
I think there's like a few pictures of it. There's not any tapings of it, I don't think.
And I think it was blurred out whenever they came to the ring with it. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong.
I don't know about that part.
Okay, could be wrong. There. Again, for those of you watching this, I could be wrong. Bad Balor Fan 85. If I'm wrong, okay. Look up the history yourself, okay. Anyways, now, how much? Now that you've got this belt, let's go ahead. Do you want to go ahead and get into it, or do you have anything else you want to say as far as anything about this belt, anything about Mr. Davenport, anything before we get into the review of this belt and we see what's going on with it?
I mean, I love the fact. I mean, I'm used to the regular Big Gold. I hate to stand up and get all the way out of camera if I am. I'm not.
Well, I'm fixing.
I'm short anyway, so
I'm going to be throwing in my B-roll.
Okay,
I'm going to be showing it. So
I love the silver going with the gold because I never seen this belt before until I got it. I'd never seen anything like this.
When you got it, did you look it up and try to get the history behind it?
Yeah, and Kevin actually had sent me the picture of Flair with it. Whenever I was I used to go and make the game and stuff. Remember, I did the game for a little while there, and I basically custom belts on there. You know,
the Creative Championships.
I took the big gold, and I made it silver, and I always wanted big gold to look a little bit more silver, something different on it, you know. And this right here, I love the globe being silver, and on the side plates being silver, you know. The details in that, I love that. And I never really saw all the detail on the, like you've got your big golds over there. This one's a little bit different looking.
Mm-hmm.
So I've studied this thing. I see the stars all over it. I see all the details. And it's way out of left field for me. I never saw anything like that coming. I always thought they all looked like a regular big gold.
Yeah, and for the most part they do. Now, if you look at Hazard F5 on YouTube, I love watching Hazard F5's history of videos. He's got a history of the big gold belt, and he takes you from the very first all the way through all the incarnations. Now, you'd be surprised at how many incarnations there are of the big gold from its inception to its retirement.
Yeah.
They go from 3D cast big golds. They just every one of them has a few different nuances, a few different details that are different. I'm actually going to have another big gold we're going to review here probably in the next few weeks. Shout out to good brother Chris. He did the Blue Universal title with me. He got a belt that I've been dying to see, just like this. I've been dying to see it. He's got the big silver. If you've ever seen the movie Ready to Rumble, Ready to Rumble had the big gold, but everywhere that was gold was silver, and then all the accentuators were gold, which is freaking awesome. I cannot wait to see it. I cannot wait to salute Jimmy King. He is the king.
Hail to the king.
So, you want to go ahead and get into this review right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first things first, what do you think about the belt in general as far as all the detail in it before we kind of break it down?
The detail.
I mean, you like the silver.
I like the big jewels, especially.
Yeah, the big jewels. Now, this is going to be a 4mm zinc, correct?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's 4mm.
4mm zinc. Let's go ahead. Now, you know the maker, but you don't know how to contact the maker. Is that correct?
Never spoken with the
so
maker.
we're not going to mention any makers on this. If you made this belt and you know who you are, we'll tell you whether or not we like it here in just a minute. Yeah. So we're going to come right over here to the metal snaps. We have a 2x1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2x7 snap set over here. No snap box because the original big gold, they didn't have any snap boxes or anything. It was made, in my opinion, to be like a rodeo belt. Just a leather strap around with a big buckle in the middle. That's the way that I always consider the big gold. That's actually the way I considered the NWA title too. Yeah. Then when you got to WCW with some of their belts and the WWF with their belts, then you had the snap box. Then it became one whole ornate piece, in my opinion. You do have the white stitching around the border. Again, your basic snap set. Actually, it's a little bit different, 2x7. We're going to come over here now. Some of the differences in this big gold compared to the other, aside from just the whole floral pattern, this is basically a completely different belt. The only thing that's pretty much the same is kind of the design. Now, if you come over here to the side plates, the side plates are going to be a little bit longer and maybe a little bit shorter. I'm kind of looking right here. In my opinion, they're going to be a little bit longer than the actual big gold's side plate. But I do love how you have the red stones on each corner with the star. I'm really digging the floral pattern. You have two clear stones on each side of the dual globes, and I'm really enjoying this dual globe. Now, one thing I will say I hate with some makers, and it's not really their fault, when it comes to stones. Yeah. Shell out a little bit more, even charge a little bit more. Gotta have a little bling, just a little bit of sparkle. That's why I love the Mayan AEW we have over there. Those were imported Australian stones, and I mean they sparkle. If you put a flashlight on them in the dark, they pop everywhere. These are kind of like shop stones. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. But you know, if you're going to go the route of having a more realistic belt, more realistic stones. That's a nitpick on my part. I'm not taking away from the fact that I'm really digging this kind of the layout in general. I'm really liking the side plate over here where you have the dual silver globes. It's not something you see very often. Even on the other big golds we have over there, they don't have these globes, so it's more ornate and floral. This adds that little bit of a pop to it. Yeah. And it's also double stacked. so I can deal with that. I'm really digging the dual globes on this. Coming over here to the... Oh, do you have anything you want to say about the side plates first?
I mean, you didn't touch on this, but I kind of want to point out the outline being etched in like that.
Okay, so it's got a border around it, is what you're saying.
The border, yeah. I love the border on that too.
Now the actual big gold has more of a braid. I don't want to say braided, but it looks like a braided pattern all the way
like
around.
a rope around the edge, yeah.
So this is more simplistic, but actually I'm like you. I kind of like it now that I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
So you do have a border around. You have the dual globes. Again, this is a funky big gold. It's like a Franken big gold where they add a little bit of this and a little bit of that to it. Mm-hmm. Coming over here to the main plate, again, you have that same shape as the big gold. You still have World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion up top, in a different font, and it's also stacked 4 lines instead of 3 lines.
A little bit smaller too. Font.
Yeah, a little smaller. If you see me keep looking over here, I'm looking at the other big gold, and I'm getting the differences real time pretty much. So there are actually more stones, I believe, on this belt. I'm seeing border stones around the other big gold, and going into the crown, I'm seeing stones. Down here, you do have border stones, but it almost looks like you have one set outside stones, then you have more inside stones, and then you have a center stone. Kind of how it looks, in my opinion. You don't have the crown. Instead, you have another big silver globe.
Well, you do have a crown. It's below.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a crown right there. Right up underneath that, you have a red stone. So you do have one red stone. You have a silver globe. Could it be a little tacky as far as contrast goes? Maybe. But I do like that there is something different going on the belt. Again, the floral pattern is much bigger and broader than over on the other big gold, where you have a lot more intricate details. Over here, you just got it's kind of like somebody had a Walmart brand big gold, and they went to Target or Kmart or something and said, "Give me your version," and they got this. I'm not saying that that's worse or greater. I'm saying it's different. You know what I mean? Like, you have Coke, you have Pepsi, you have this, you have that. It's just a different thing. So you do have some contrast here. The floral pattern, it takes some getting used to. There are stars in here. Like you said, I heard you mention the stars.
Yep.
They're just kind of in here. It looks like there could have been some stones on there too at one time. If you look at the indentation in here, maybe there could have been some stones. I'm not sure.
I do not know.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
He had told me that, and I know he's going to call me an idiot for this. I looked in the box and he said there was some stones. I don't know if that's what that's for. If I just completely did not see them in there or what.
It's possible. Again, I'm not entirely sure unless they were just extra stones. Because these actually look like big stone
these look like
placement.
They fit with some reds right there, you know? That'd make it a little bit.
Did you have a bunch of red stones?
I didn't see anything in there other than the belt.
Sorry, my nose is itching.
Yeah.
Alright, coming back over here to the other side plate. Now, by the way, do you have anything else you want to say about this main plate?
Man, I love, I've always loved these, the way that, however you call it, the banner, with the, you know what I'm talking about? Wait,
okay, yeah. So
and it goes back behind it.
I actually just noticed that, yeah. So this looks like you have a banner that's kind of been placed up on the belt. I didn't even notice that. That's a good eye on your part. Where you have the banner, and then behind it you see the rest of the banner that's been folded and pointed out. That's kind of the way this is. So yeah, you don't have that on the other big gold. The other big gold is just a straight, World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. This
says it. I mean, this is
the ribbon border, I guess. We'll call it the ribbon border.
Yeah. This is like, hey, look over here. This is different than that.
Okay.
Well, this was actually, wasn't this before that one?
No, it was this. And then, what are you talking about as far as
the big gold?
The Crumb Run was first. This was WBF's.
This was the second one then.
Well, actually, even this was kind of the knockoff. So WBF can keep calling him the Real World's Champion. So yeah, you already had the Crumb Run.
Okay, I didn't know all the history, but like I said, I like that little, I guess you call it a call out or whatever on there, a banner. That's different than, you don't see that on too many belts.
No, not really.
Your United States has it, but it's hidden away behind the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then it's at the bottom. I always like those on, but this one's folded. It's different, you know. And like I said, the stars, the floral pattern is a lot thicker, you know. And it looks like if you know how like when you double tap on your phone on a picture, it zooms right in.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it zoomed in.
Okay,
on that.
I can see what you're saying. They took it, they put it on this, and they went enhance.
Yeah.
And it blew it up.
Just like on Super Troopers, yeah.
Yeah.
Enhance.
So instead of the intricate detail, you're saying it kind of blew itself up, and now we're getting this big gaudy pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying on this. Now this main plate does have a little bit of a curve. It's not a huge curve, but in my opinion, it's just enough. Not as big as fan dues. Fan dues can go overboard with their curves sometimes. They could be a soup bowl if you turn it over. This has got a decent curve to it. I'm not really complaining about this at all. Excuse me.
You're good.
We're going to come over here to the other side plate, and it's the same as the other side plate. You have the gold plate. You have the border around it. You have the star on each corner with the red star, or the red stone. Then you have one more time. Then you have a clear stone on top and the bottom in between these silver globes. When it comes to big gold, for some reason, I'm really digging the silver globes. It's just, it pops. It makes you realize, hey, this is a big gold, but there's something different. Like, why'd you get your chocolate in my peanut butter? You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things where it's not really a change when you see it that you're like, okay, I see why they did it. But you also go, okay, that's not too bad. So that's kind of where I go.
Yeah.
Now we're coming back over here. We have on your female snaps, we have 2 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's flush on both sides. You have 2 by 7 male snaps. You have 2 by 7 female snaps. You don't really get that uniformity on most belts. Most time you have a 2 by 8 on one side and a 2 by 5 on the other, or something like that. So it's kind of cool that you actually have a symmetrical snap set. You know what I mean? We're going to go into the leather before we take it to the back end. Now, one thing I will say about this leather is it is a little bit stiff, but it also, if you look right here, once you get it folded, it keeps its shape. I'd like to see this a little bit softer, but you got this for free.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to complain at all about what's going on with this belt. That's pretty much what I got to say about it as far as the leather goes. If you want to hold it like the real World's Champion, right out here. Actually looks pretty good out here. We're going to do the old Steven Hammer trick. This is the leather. Leather's actually not too bad. It could be a little bit better. You see the side plate is holding it down. I'm not going to do this and tell you that it's perfect and hold this. I've seen this done recently. This is cheating. So we're going to do this. This is how it is. So coming to the backing. I'm trying not to break your belt.
You're fine.
By the way, let me look at the snaps. These snaps could be a little polished. I don't know if you see any of our videos. One thing that Miss Ballerfan 85 and we have a big problem with is if you're going to send out a belt. Now you got it for free, but somebody won this. It was coming to that person. The one thing I can say, for the love of everything I hold dear in this wrestling hobby, clean your snaps up. Yeah. Please clean your snaps up. They're not really that tarnished, but they could be a little brighter. That's all I got to say. In my opinion, the snaps, they're one of the pieces that most people leave out as far as they just throw whatever snaps on there. Clean them up a little bit, brasso them up a little bit. Not the plates, of course, but
do not put turtle wax on any of your belts.
I saw that recently.
Yeah, somebody said that was a good idea. But
so to the makers, please put some put some new snaps on. That's all I got to say. These aren't terrible, but they could be newer. They could be better. So that's what I got to say about that. You actually have some of your gold coming off on some of these male snaps, but
that is from me going around the house wearing it.
Oh yeah. You're not wearing this naked, are you?
No, I'm wearing clothes.
Okay, good. I was fixing to burn this.
I still live at home. I can't do that.
Okay. So, what I'm going to say about this big gold, it's 4mm zinc. This belt probably weighs 6 pounds. I'd say 6 pounds.
6.
You think it weighs more?
I thought it weighed like 12.
No, I wouldn't say 12.
I think the packaging actually said 8.
Okay.
9.
So I'd say this belt probably weighs about 6, 7 pounds. It's not a huge belt, but not a small belt. Like, I'm going to put this on my shoulder. The main plate is relatively big. This is bigger than a Fandu belt. Of course, your Fandu belts, they're all in that bracket of just a little bit smaller than what they should be. But now with the new lugs coming out, they're branching out into that. They're going to get it right.
Yeah.
As far as this belt goes, I will say for a free belt, it's not too shabby. The only nitpicks I have are just the stones, and that's something on me. I would say, if you're making for somebody and somebody's gonna pay several $100s or more, you can at least put some bling on it. I mean, in my opinion, that's fair. The same thing with the snaps. At least put a little bling on it, because for the most part, you're paying enough for that. I mean, with WWE Shop, you're paying for plastic stones. We know what we're paying for with plastic stones. At least with a maker, it's better stones on it.
And don't forget the red stones. If that's what we're supposed to go in the stars.
Yeah, so we're not entirely sure of that. We could be wrong, but
I'm thinking that's what the thought process was behind it.
Okay, well, that's fair. If not, we'll figure that out. If there's somebody who is an historian on here, I'll be honest. He brought this belt over. I did no research whatsoever. I tried to go from memory. So if I'm wrong, sue me. Actually, don't, because you're not getting any of these belts. I will fight you for these belts. You got anything you want to say about this belt before we jump into next week and we do another review?
Well, I'd like to say thank you to Kevin. I haven't said enough. I'd like to say it one more time. And, I mean, what a way to start out my collection, right?
Yeah, it's not a bad belt at all. It's a great first belt. It beats your predictions champion, and I'm not trying to insult you on that. I'm just saying, when you actually get a belt, there is nothing like that feeling of having a belt in your collection.
Well, the predictions belt has been through so much crap anyway. I mean,
not
it's
even
seen
that.
so much hair shed, you know. But this one, I mean, that's just a fun have fun belt.
Yeah.
This is a serious belt that you want to put up on the shelf. You want your buddies to come. I want to try it on. That's what
Hopefully
you want.
we're close.
Yeah, we're close.
Hopefully we're close. We'll do that. But yeah, that's what I have to say about this belt. Again, do you want to go anywhere else with this aside from apparently in your underwear walking around the house with it? And I'm going to sanitize my hands at least 18 times when I get off this video. So you got anything else you want to say about it?
I think we've pretty much covered everything about it.
This video went a little bit longer than I thought it would, but guess what? That's always good. I love a good long video. So with that being said, like, comment, subscribe on BalorFan85 and
Pies That Rock.
Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will catch you guys down the road. For you and for you.
Stay cool, rock on.